we then see Binance, another big crypto over-the-counter giant, and Bloomberg's the one who originally reported on this, but basically CZ, he was saying there are people who hold certain types of local licenses, traditional banking, payment service providers, even banks. We're looking at those things, and we want to be the bridge between crypto and the traditional finance world. He goes on to say, what we found is that banks work with us. We drive so many users to them so that the bank's valuation goes up exponentially. Like, why don't we just invest in them as well so that we capture some of the equity upside? So like, that's perfectly sensible, right? If there's money moving hands and you now have this huge financial uptick just from traditional investments and the banking industry, why wouldn't you get in the middle of that? And CZ's the owner of Binance. He has a huge vested interest to make sure that regulation goes in the right direction, right? Yep. And so I think that's the same reason why we saw Coinbase on our last stream also trying to get into that Ripple thing, because Ripple, even though we're not fans of it, it will inform how other cryptocurrencies are tipped, either as a currency, as a commodity, or as a security. So this is kind of a big deal, actually.
It's it's a brilliant move, actually, and in the crypto industry, this has been tried before with a Noble Bank in Puerto Rico, with an original group with USDT and a few others, because they understood crypto needs a ramp, an on-ramp and off-ramp into fiat overall. So now, after all these experiments that have been going on the on-off ramps, the next step now is actually getting involved where you have a foothold where there is a quality control of the on and off ramping into the crypto space. So the fact that CZ is now mentioning it, it shows that he has a clarity of direction to help the world actually adopt crypto, because that's one of the biggest obstacles and hurdles, even in the United States, on how to get on and off. Like Bank of America already announced to a few people, and Banco Santander also sent the same communication to their users of, we will not accept funds coming from an exchange into your bank account or sending it off. So CZ's move at the moment is now going to remove those obstacles from the banks, traditional banks, to allow anyone in or out through a licensed legal bank. Where it's going to be, that's going to be curious, huge curiosity about it, but it will revolutionize the off-ramp and on-ramp.
Yeah, and look at the bottom of the article too. There's a second piece that he brings up. It says, previously, Binance said it had set aside about $1 billion to spend on acquisitions. At the time, CZ said Binance was focused on purchasing troubled crypto lending firms that faced financial hardships due to bear market that started in May. And then it says, just this week, Binance committed $500 million, so $500 million, to billionaire Elon Musk's buyout of social media giant Twitter, saying that the investment was priceless because social media and Web3 will fuse with Musk at the company's helm. So I think CZ clearly sees the opportunity with Elon owning Twitter in the first place to start seeing real integrations into the crypto space. And I think everybody knows once we see that proven out to be profitable and working, we're going to see other social medias do the same thing, because they want a piece of that pie and they don't have to do the experimental part of seeing if it actually has any stickiness or adoption in the normal market. So I think this is extremely visionary of CZ to do this. It's extremely visionary of Elon Musk to do this. And we live in exciting times.
Absolutely. We've had those discussions.
Yeah.
Temp, I know you're about to say something, but imagine now having the control on the on and off, and making it super easy through Twitter.
Yep.
To do these. Sorry, Tam, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. All this, it brings me back to the saying that we all know, where it's like, first they laugh at you and then they mock you and then they shun you and then they join you, basically something along those lines, whatever. And here we are. All of a sudden, we've been hearing for the last couple months, banks all over the place allowing some sort of Bitcoin, whether it be through some sort of investment vehicle, or now they're buying spot Bitcoin. They're actually teaching certain qualified investors how to actually own the asset directly. And you hear it, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Carnegie Mellon, BNY Mellon, the rolled R bank that Jaime said earlier. And this isn't because all of a sudden these banks understand Bitcoin and they believe in it. And oh my gosh, we realize our enemy is our friend, right? They're doing it because however much in a certain cryptocurrency, most of the time right now, it's Bitcoin and ETH with some few exceptions. However much of those assets that these banks hold collectively, they can then turn around in, fractionalized lending, turn around and lend out anywhere between 4 and 20% of that value to you, me, and anybody in between. So this is purely a business move. Your Jamie Dimons of the world still despise Bitcoin, but now all of a sudden, when there's an opportunity to make money on it, now the banks are acting like they want to play ball. CZ sees this, Binance sees this, and thinks, we already have all the tools. Why don't we just do the same thing? Instead of giving the banks all the power in the world to lend and have them act like they're going to be the saviors of finance, we can step in and do this better than you. And we are the future of finance.